Hey guys, how's it going? David here with another product review, and today we're going to take a look at something that I have no experience with whatsoever, but I was given the opportunity to review it, and I thought, let's try it out. So today we're going to take a look at the JoyLuxy 3D printing pen. Now there's lots of 3D printers out there that would like go on a desk or even fill up an entire room, but they've actually managed to make these small enough you can hold them in your hand now. And I've watched plenty of videos over the last couple of weeks trying to get myself familiar with this to see what to expect out of it and that sort of thing. And I don't know that I'm to the level of some of the people that are out there, since I have very little experience with these, but it was fun to play with while I was testing it out to get ready for this. And I just wanted to take maybe 5 minutes to just talk about the product, show you what it looks like, and then you can laugh at me for whatever I'm gonna make here, right here on my desk for you. So let's just take a look at it, at everything first, and then we'll start digging into the little bits and pieces, and then I'll put it all together, and then we'll draw something. All right, so first things first, the box. The box is good, solid, sturdy construction. A little bit of information on the back, not a whole lot. It's very much what's inside that we're looking at apparently. And like I said, I've played with this one a little bit already, so things aren't going to be quite the same as when you order one. I've already taken all of the plastic wrapping off of everything and whatnot, but I put everything back pretty close to the way it was so that you can kind of see what you might expect when you get yours. So right on top, pen. Now these come in different colors. I think blue, green, and white are the 3 color options that we get here. I went with the blue one. Out of those 3, blue was definitely my pick. It's a little big, it's a little bulky, but they were thoughtful and made it a bit ergonomic so that when you're holding it, it fits into your hand nicely there. You've got your buttons to push the filament through or to back it out, and then you've got a couple of other buttons over here. These are for your speed, how fast or slow you want to extrude your material. You got a little screen here that tells you what temperature your material is at, and then you've got 2 buttons here to adjust that temperature up and down, I think from 160 to 180. And then on the back, we've got a plug so that we can actually plug it into the wall. We'll need that. And then right above that is actually where your filament will go in. One thing to note, right here on the tip, this says it will get hot, and that's no joke. This tip does get hot, and the white tip even further out gets even hotter, so try not to touch either of these once the pen is up and working and you've been doing stuff. All right, so inside the box we have a stand. It's kind of a hard plastic that the tip just fits into, and there is a suction cup on the bottom there, which is great because I have a glass top desk, so it just sticks right there. In addition, of course, we've got our power. Here they've made this cord relatively long, about 5 feet. In addition, you're gonna get 2 different colored filaments inside. Mine are all tangled up because I didn't put them back in their bags, but I got blue and kind of a reddish orange color. And so you will get 2 of those. You can buy more of this on Amazon or from whatever retailer you prefer, but you will get 2 different colors, just to let you know that. And this is the part that really kind of confused me. You'd think with something like this that you would get an instruction booklet, and that wasn't quite the case. What I got was this fold-out instruction thing in several languages, which, I mean, that's good. I just expected more of a book versus just a single printed sheet that's been folded. So definitely look through it, find your language of preference, and it'll give you some pointers on how to load it, how to set the temperatures, do that sort of thing. Some of the instructions are fairly vague in that it will say if it's doing this, it's too hot, or if it's doing that, it's not hot enough. And that's not terribly helpful to somebody who has no experience with this. So it will take some trial and error unless you're familiar with this and then you've already gone through your trial and error. But you may have to look online to get more tips and pointers because this isn't very effective for that. First thing we want to do is plug it in. And here you can actually see in the stand, it's going to be a little wobbly, but it should be fine. So let's go ahead and plug in to there. Here you're going to see we're going to have the option for, hopefully we can get that on camera, either PLA or ABS for whichever type of printing material you want to use. We're using PLA, so I'm going to make sure that it's on that setting. All right, there we go. I just hit the forward button there, and here we can see that it is ramping up on the temperatures. And then once it gets up to the right temperature, this light over here should change colors. There it goes. So it went from a kind of an orangish red color to a green there, which means that we're then ready to load our filament in. And I'm going to just insert it into right here, and I'm going to push forward. And hopefully we can get, hopefully you may be able to hear that, but it's pushing the filament through, and then once it gets close, we'll notice that the tip here will start to push some of that old stuff through. Once you're ready to go, all you have to do is press, and it will just keep extruding there. Of course, I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing this unless you, I wouldn't recommend drawing directly on your desk unless you have a glass surface like this. So you'll notice that when I get to the end of a line, for instance, I'll just go ahead and start here, and I'm going to do just a little line here. And then when I stop, I'm holding it there, and there's a reason for that. You can probably see that a little bit there. If you just do this and you're like, oh, I'm done, you're gonna get a lot of this excess stuff hanging off of here. But I'll show you my first couple, and you can see everything I did wrong. So, this was the first one I made, actually, and you can see I've got all kinds of extra stuff hanging off of here where I messed up, all kinds of these stringy things. That's why when I was getting to the end of the line, I was just holding it in place so that it wouldn't trail off with all of this. Like if you compare this, yes, there's still some of that going on there. Let's see if I can get it to focus. There we go. So there's still some, but nothing compared to this. Okay, so this is definitely something that the more you use it, the more practice you get, the better you get, as long as you're learning from your mistakes. This was learning. After playing with it a little bit, kind of figuring out the little nuances of it, I see that there's a lot of potential in what you could do with something like this. But this is neat. This gives you the chance to draw in 3D as long as you've got some time and some patience. I would also suggest buying a few packs of these different colors. You can actually buy several different colors, or you can buy variety packs of colors. I would do that, especially while you're still learning how to use the pen and that sort of thing, so that you can have some extra for when you mess up, because you're gonna mess up. But very cool product. I would highly recommend picking one up, whether it's for holidays or for yourself, or if you know somebody who wants to get into 3D printing, but they don't want to necessarily spend the $500 or $600 or $800 or $1,000 or multi-$1,000s for a full desktop or a full printing unit. You could definitely pick one of these up for a much lower cost, and they could kind of decide whether or not they wanted to get into 3D printing from that pen. I'll have a link to the description, or I'll have a link to the product in the description below, so you can run over to Amazon and pick one of those up. I'll actually have 3 different links in there, one for each color. So in the comment section below, tell me, have you ever used a 3D printing pen like this? If so, did you have good results with it? What was the learning curve like for you? What experience do you have with 3D printing in general? I'd love to hear that in the comment section below. If this was helpful at all, or entertaining, or any of that good stuff, do me a favor, give the video a thumbs up. That helps me out a ton. It helps the channel out a ton. Also, I've got several more tech videos coming up for product reviews and that sort of thing, not necessarily 3D printing, but just tech videos in general. So if you're interested in that, definitely hit the subscribe button so that you can be notified of when those videos come out. And I think that's going to do it for me today, but I will talk to you guys in the next one.